Welcome to my princess bed, because I'm a princess. And if you don't agree, get out of my room.
Meow, meow.
Making fun.
Halloween is upon us, my friends. I know I've been saying this all month, but I am just so gosh darn excited about it. It's my favorite time of the year. It is the time of the year when I can go to a normal store and buy home decor. This is a Joann's purchase from like 3 years ago. This is a Michael's purchase from last year, and I believe they have these cameos again still. I am literally surrounded by, you know, Michael's, Home Goods, Joann's, Halloween stuff year round. I love it, I love it, I love it. This year my favorite store's collection has easily been Michael's. They have this beautiful like goth witch thing. It's where this pillow comes from with the skull butterfly situation, and the color theme is literally like black and gray and green and purple, which if you can guess from my room is kind of my vibe. Nature witch is like how I want to look and how I want to live year round. Whereas like my aesthetic a couple years ago was Michael's shabby chic goth collection this year, which also like is awesome. 2 years ago, I would have bought everything in that collection. One thing from that collection though definitely caught my interest the second I saw it, which was this torso with roses. I have a couple of issues with this, and one of the things that bothers me the most about this, and I know it's probably because the thing is hollow and the way it was cast, but the ribcage is filled in completely. And for some reason I was like, wow, I find that bothersome. So I've seen a lot of people online who have actually gone out and bought it and repainted it to suit their aesthetic choices, which is great if you can do that. I've also seen a couple people who have done like I am about to do and have made their own. I managed to find at Joann's a skeleton that was oddly enough toddler sized. When I removed the head and arms and legs, that was going to be the size I wanted. Yeah, and I decided I was gonna do this myself, and I was gonna do it a little bit more in my own aesthetic.
So here we have our appropriately toddler-sized skeleton. Nice and cute. So to begin with, I needed to remove the arms, legs, and head. I started by trying to twist off the head and then realized it probably just popped right off, which I had to do a little bit of cutting, but once I got that string off, the head just came right off. Nice decorative item. I tried to unscrew the legs from this. This thing is full of screw holes, but the screws don't actually come apart very well. So I eventually resorted to ripping the limbs off, which was oddly satisfying as well as oddly disturbing. I'm still trying. There we go. I just give up and grab that femur and just pull it off. There we go. There. Same goes for the arms. I originally did try to unscrew one of them, but ended up having to just snap them off at the ball joint like that. And here we have our torso. It is spine, ribs, sternum, and pelvis. That is a torso, in case you are wondering. I had decided I wanted to go for a wood kind of color, so I mixed up some brown. Then I got out some black. I started mixing it together and decided I wanted it a bit more green as well, and just mixed it up into a nice kind of old wood color. And isn't that satisfying, watching that brush stroke just go across the sternum and everything turn the same color? So satisfying. And then I spent a lot of time painting it. This thing has a million nooks and crannies, and getting paint in every single one of them was a task. Let me tell you, this is the part of the project that definitely took me the longest, getting every little spot and then going over it again and again. But it looks really nice here. And then I came in with a hairdryer because I'm impatient. And funnily enough, you know that you're a crafty person when your hairdryer gets used for paint more than it gets used for hair. Anyway, so now what I'm doing is I am trying to create some definition between the bones by dripping watered down black acrylic paint into them. And I'm also doing this underneath the bones and trying to separate them out a little bit and make them look less like they're one giant piece of plastic, but also, again, to give that kind of wood texture that I'm going for. I would also drip across the back. There we go. So you get that nice kind of puddling effect, and it doesn't dry that dark. So it gives a lot of dimension. And I'm separating the scapulas from the ribs there because our scapulas aren't actually attached to our ribs in real life, and it kind of bugs me when they're molded that way, but whatever. Anywho, getting lots of shadows in. So then I was also brushing it on in bigger strokes and then sponging it off so that it got a lot of different textures and speckles and all kinds of cool things. So, it looked like a log, or at least an approximation that I was able to manage for this video, because I'm not a painter and I'm learning how to do things like this slowly. And I'm impressed with how far I've come. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, that looks good. All right. And the best way to improve it from here is, of course, moss. Yeah, moss. So I wanted to start off with the places that were going to bug me the most that looked wrong. So, of course, I was filling up the screw holes and then going around the areas again where it looks a little less natural, more like plastic than like bone. I am very picky about my skeletons and my skeletal decorations, and it bothers me when they're not anatomically correct. So I'm covering up like those scapula slabs that are weird. I'm covering up these holes that are not how your clavicle is attached to your rib cage. That's just a mess. Also, those straight bars across the back, that is not even kind of how your ribs work. And these holes here, also not in ribs. I understand that it's like one giant cast piece of plastic, but it bugs me and I can fix it. And I'm fixing it with moss because moss fixes all. At some point in the gluing process, I did pause to look at how moss grows on trees to kind of give it a natural look, but then I realized moss does what moss wants, so I could just put it wherever I felt like. So I was making sure there to fill up the holes in the shoulders, fix that connection right there between the sternum and the ribs, all those little places, like I said, that bug me. There I am going with the other shoulder because you don't want to see also where I popped that bone out. Wow, that was a really fast cut. Good job, Tia. Good job. And here's the back. Yep, there's more screw holes that I got to cover up with moss. Wow, my hands are dirty. More screw holes and another weird like plastic imprinting thing. There it goes. Right there. Yes. Now it's gone. Haha. I don't have to look at it anymore and it doesn't bother me. The more moss I add to this, the more it looks real and not like a, again, piece of plastic rib cage that I bought at Joann's and then painted brown, even though that's exactly what it is. I've run out of things to say if you can't tell, and you're not even watching all of this video, and you're watching it sped up by 15,000%. So good times. Getting that moss on the sternum there, and yeah, looks pretty good. I'm excited. So then I made a stand off camera because it was kind of a disaster. And then what I did is I just got my armature wire out and I laced it through the rib cage like so. Wow, I'm struggling there. That shouldn't be that difficult. There we go. Laced it through the rib cage like so. Like so. Like so. When you can't do it right, just skip ahead in the video. Anyway, I laced it through the rib cage and then I tightened it down around the back of my support structure. I twisted it up like a bread bag and then fed the wires back through the rib cage so they'd be slightly less noticeable than before, and then came around the other side, pinched them down, and then I painted everything that same swampy brown color that I've come to love so much. Yes, painted it so we can't see the wires anymore. They don't exist. It's amazing. So there you have it. A slightly different take on the Michael's torso ornament in my style. Nice and weird and witchy and mossy and not at all pink and pretty.
And here it is. It's so cute. I'm really, really pleased with how this came out. It's not perfect. Nothing ever is. You know, that is the thing I've learned when I make art, is that I have to kind of just accept it in the state that it comes in. If I'm constantly striving for perfection, I have a tendency to just give up. I had a lot of fun making this. Sometimes my projects can get super stressful for me. I wasn't stressed out with this, which was nice. I could just kind of chill and watch Sherlock Holmes and make this, which is kind of my goal for most projects, is to chill and watch something, generally Sherlock Holmes. I would love to see any of your Halloween projects, so please tag us on Instagram at make.your.own.fun if you do anything really cool, or I don't know, can you put photo links in the comments? Or just put photos in the comments? I don't know. Please. I want to see everything. I love new ideas. It's a symbiotic relationship when we all share our creativity. So if you have any awesome Halloween DIYs, or any DIYs at all, honestly, art projects, anything, I'm here for it. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Every like, every comment, every new subscriber helps us get seen more. The algorithms on how this all works is kind of nonsense, so just, if you have taken the time to watch, please give us a boost. It really helps us out. Girls, torso, roses. I wonder what's gonna come up with that. HowWeMontessori.com. Well, that ain't right. I just like bones. Ain't that the truth? I like bones. Should I go get the skeleton? I should go get the skeleton. I don't want moss on my bed. Because if I'm constantly striving if I'm constantly striving this is hard to say. It kind of looks like a weird old-timey phone as well. Hello? It's a special time of year where I don't have to be subtle about the things that I love. I'm not usually subtle about the things that I love. Subtle is not a word that like applies to any part of me or my personality or how I conduct myself. What's going on? Manatee. Don't forget to like and subscribe and say hi to Kat in the comments. I'm gonna go.